The Industrial Revolution occurred during the 17th century and greatly increased the importation and output of machine made goods. Many periods in history, such as the Enlightenment, American Revolution, French Revolution, and Scientific Revolution, all gave rise or contributed to democracy directly. The Industrial Revolution is also one of these periods in history which greatly contributed to the rise of democracy. So, this returns us to our question of the day. How exactly did the Industrial Revolution contribute to the rise of democracy?
To start, the Industrial Revolution contributed to the rise of democracy by the innovations that were founded during the time. During the Industrial Revolution, 1790 to 1870, the new inventions were used to advance the economy, then kickstarting the new democracy. The most volatile inventions to lead the way for the rise of democracy was the steam engine. This invention started a new way of transportation of people and goods.
The more efficient transportation method of goods and services meant that the demand was going down for a product or service while the supply was going up, then driving the prices of goods down in the process. Using the steam engine to transport goods faster helped the production of most or all businesses, improved the advancing economy, and the working people were given jobs and moved out of poverty. And now we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsors, Capitalism.
The Industrial Revolution contributed to the rise of democracy because it popularized the ideas of capitalism. The reason why people liked capitalism so much was because it allowed individuals to make their own wealth and work for it rather than being limited to what they could do. Capitalism made it so when doing things such as trading, private owners could control it rather than the government. During this time period, people had incentives to become wealthy and innovate, and capitalism encouraged this. This connects to democracy because democracy is about giving individuals some control over the government rather than a government that has all of the power.
With the new cheap labor to men, women, and children, it gave people work that they were happy to have for the time. As the economy started to boom around that time, people wanted more off what they were doing for work. Along with hazards that made more and more people less willing to work the same circumstances on a day-to-day basis, the workers wanted safer ways to work, along with better pay, which introduced the new trade unions.
Strike by factory workers toward the factories to give them better wages and a safer environment to work in. Ultimately, the workers got what they wanted, and through strikes, trade unions were formed, and the working people were happy. This is how democracy is shown. The strikes were noticed by politicians, and laws were made to immediately make strikes illegal. But the capitalist, conservative, and liberal politicians saw this way of getting what the people wanted perfect. Their thoughts were to change the government so that the people have more control over what happens to their everyday lives.
Overall, these 3 points are some of the most important takeaways from the Industrial Revolution. Capitalism was a direct result of the Industrial Revolution and led to many countries adopting this system. New inventions allowed for more goods with factory delivery times, which helped both small business owners and large companies. It led to strikes and protests, which were a way of people expressing their opinions in a peaceful way. These 3 examples are major impacts the Industrial Revolution had on the rise of democracy.